Greetings. In the previous lesson, I have created a database. So today, let's import some data into it and read it, and maybe even write some tests. Let's get into it. All right, so I would need to import data. I can use Employee Manager for that. First of all, it already has a read method. I'll read it from disk, and then I can have a separate method called import to database or write to database, save to database. Yeah, looks good. Database, and I need to pass in, I believe, the whole context. Employee context. Here, what do we need to do? We need to save employees to context. And we can add the simplest method, add range. And there are two options. First is add range, and second is add range async, asynchronous method. A lot of framework classes have async overloads. And on a general, it's better idea to use async methods. Let's start using them. Why to do that? Oops, no. Why to do that is a big topic. We'll discuss it when we talk about how to pass an interview. So, add range, employees. All right. So this one needs to be, if we leave it just like this, it will execute asynchronously, but we kind of would like to wait for the finish. So we need to add a keyword called await, and it says it can all be used within an async method. So it has to be async, and it should return a task, something that we can await from the caller. Database. Save to database, okay, add range, and we need to save our changes. This is save changes. Looks good. Okay, so now let's go to program. Here we don't want to do all of that. Instead, we want to read from disk and then save to database. Here, I would love to await for this method. Yeah. But it says that we need to pass a context. Okay, we can create a context here for now. Context employee context. Yeah. Context. I'll pass my context. All right. Let's run and see what happens. Building, build succeeded, and it's hanging, so not a good sign. Most likely it has thrown an exception. All right. Cannot insert explicit value for identity column in the table employees when identity insert is set to off. So what does this mean? It means the following: that we have a key defined as here as our tax ID, but we have not explicitly said that we will be inserting it. So by default, Entity Framework thinks that key will be kind of auto-generated. It will be some counter that will be generated, auto-incremented. In our case, we have explicit values for tax ID. So we need to no symbol. So in this case, we need just to tell it how to turn identity insert on. Okay, let's Google it. What does it say? Turn on in identity insert. Duplicate, probable duplicate. Okay. So it says that has database generated option is missing. We should have it like this. Okay. And that we would have to put in our configuration. entity type configuration. So right now we don't have any entity type configuration for employee model. Let's create one. Okay, here employee model, employee configuration. Goes, and it will be configuration for employee model. Install package. Okay, yeah, let's install it. Installing entity framework package for model. Entity framework. What? Entity framework? Nah, my bad. So it installed wrong version of package. Entity framework. That's not the way to do it in the EF core. Nah, remove it. It's not for EF core. Yeah, it's for EF6. Okay, need to Google it. EF core entity configuration. Entity type configuration. Yeah, it's a. Okay, it's like this. And model. This way. All right, so here we can do the configuration and builder has key blah blah blah. Its ID and database generated. Okay, now we can check. Database generate ID value generated on add, and we want to use our own value because we already have it. Okay, we need to specify that it should not be generated by database. So builder property tax ID value generated never. Okay, and I need to use this configuration here in overriding the method on model creating. Looks good. Okay, model builder. Apply configuration. I can apply it. Employee configuration. There is another method to apply all configuration from this assembly. We don't need it. Okay, let's run it. I think we still have an exception. Yeah. Okay, let's check how database model looks like. So this is employee columns, tax ID is primary key, properties. Oh, and yeah, it has been generated as identity column through this seed. We need, and yeah, this configuration specifies that it is not an identity column. Its value should not be auto-generated. So I need to apply an additional migration. Let's do it. Migration will start it. All right. Let's update database. Good. If I refresh this now and check properties, filter didn't do much. Okay. Let's check what's in the migration. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's it's basically the same. It doesn't do anything. That's why it hasn't changed. Let's ask ChatGPT. Not struggle with it. So it doesn't generate. Yeah, because it's not possible. We need to drop the column and recreate it. It seems so. Okay, so we can do it like this. Let's do this. Full script. A little bit of SQL now. So what does it do? It will drop column. Tax ID, our column is called tax ID. And it will recreate it back, non-nullable, and we'll add primary constraint to it, but that's it. The identity will be untouched. Okay, let's try with this one. Great. Unrecognized command update. It's right. Not update database, but database. Okay. Oh, an error. Okay. Okay, what do we have here? One or more object accesses this column. Can't drop the column. Okay, one more round of charging. Basically, it suggests to drop primary key first. Okay. Aha, okay, so now it worked almost till the end. ID does not exist. Oh yeah, I forgot to rename it here. Let's do this now. Done. All right. So if we check this, let's refresh the table. And checking tax ID. It's the end, but whatever. Properties, and it's not identity anymore. Great, great, great. So this helped. ChatGPT, I like it for programming. Okay, let's now execute the programs. Loading from disk. And it's successful. So if I now refresh it and just take tops 1000, great. I have all of my data inserted. One more thing that I would like to add here is saving to database. We know now. Yeah. So now I can add a new method to reading, not from disk or bytes, but from database. Let's add a third method. Public void read from database. And we need to pass context here. And then employees will be taken from context dot employees. List. Looks good. And now I can test it actually. Let's do this. Not read from disk. I'll comment it out for now. Manager, read from database. Context. Okay. And I will remove as usual files cleanup. Oh, it's actually empty. Right, let's run it. Ah, it wasn't the right one. Sorry, it's data. Let's go here. Bin debug. a lot of files now, yeah? You can remove some CSVs. All good. Okay, and run it. Nice. Now we have, as you can see, and you can check bottom earners, for instance. Looks good. Looks good. Ooh, great. So now we have a project that is able to write to database and read from database. And in the second part of this, I'll show you how to actually write integration tests around it. And for that, we will be using in-memory database to keep the whole testing solution in memory. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comments, leave them in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.